we're so glad you joined us today, At Home Family. It's always great when you come and drop in on the kitchen, because honest, you probably never know what to expect. And sometimes we never know what we're presenting until we get here. No, that's not true. We always try to plan out and think what you would like to see, or what maybe your family's hungry for, and so you'd like to make it. Today we're going to do some Mexican entrees, give you a variety, and hopefully you'll find something your family likes, because it's kind of nice. You get in a rut sometimes, you make the meat, the potatoes, the vegetable, or whatever. So you just want to do something different. And so I hope that we will spark your interest. And they're not necessarily hot, because sometimes that heat is not, it turns me off, because then you can't taste anything else in the dish. So we're not going to go that route. Some are hot, some aren't. But Mexico is an interesting place. It's wonderful that we have CTV is part sponsorship for a wonderful orphanage and boys' home in Mexico, and it's called Caring Hearts. And we're very proud to be a part of that. We've even baked cookies for the kids down there and sent them down a couple years ago. I remember us doing that. But you know, when we open our hearts to help somebody less fortunate than us, it's always very pleasing to God. And you know, sometimes we get caught up in our own little world of what we need, what's important to us. And we tend to forget about somebody who's right next door, or sitting in that pew right next to you at church, or the neighbor down the street, or the kids that are out there when you pick up your children from school and you see that maybe their clothes aren't as nice as some of the other kids, or they just look like they need some attention. How about reaching out to other people and doing something kind and generous and nice for them? There's such a wonderful feeling, a satisfaction of knowing that you've helped someone when they've had a situation in their life that you could help to ease the pain or the need. And that's what we do with Caring Hearts. We take care of there's a boys' home, there's an orphanage, there's 45 children or so there, and there's, I think, 30 kids in the boys' home. And so we're the sole support, and we take care of those kids. But that's in another country, and we're glad we can do that, because the scripture tells us to go ye into all the world and let people know about his love. But what about the ones right around us? What about the neighbor, as I said, next door? If you see there's a need, maybe the need is as simple as, raking leaves, or shoveling snow, or just bake something and send it over to them and say, here, I made this for you for dinner tonight. I hope you enjoy it. That will be touching someone else's life with the good that's in your life. And there's a great, great feeling of satisfaction. How about giving that a thought today? Okay, maybe one of the things we're going to prepare from the Mexican foods that we're doing today will be something that you could share with a family member or a sick neighbor or whomever God puts on your heart. Help us to be sensitive, Lord, to know who we should minister to. That's my prayer every day. Well, we're going to get started with our Mexican foods in just a minute, but first, here's today's at-home hint. To make perfect popcorn, place 1/2 cup popcorn kernels in a large microwave-safe bowl with a tablespoon of olive or canola oil. Cover with a microwave-safe plate and microwave on high, power level 10, until the majority of the kernels have popped 3 to 5 minutes.
If you have an at-home hint, a favorite recipe, or just a friendly greeting you'd like to share, we'd like to hear from you. Post it in the comments of this video or visit our Facebook page.
Well, my sidekick's here today. Hi, Sweetness.
Hi, babe.
And we're doing the Mexican. I have to be honest with you, he doesn't like Mexican at all, like very little. Well, you like burritos, right? You do like burritos, but no beans. But we're expanding our taste buds. So
right.
You're gonna make something. This is a taco dip, chili taco dip. Very simple, easy to do. That's nice for entertaining, because all you do is layer stuff. And I'm gonna make chicken enchilada a casserole, okay? Tell me what's in yours.
Run it thin.
Uh-huh.
Cream cheese.
Chilies.
Chives.
Chilies.
Chilies.
Not chives. You got to hang up on chives. That's okay.
Refried beans. And cheese.
Okay, good. You're just going to layer that in.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, mine is, I've got my filling already beginning. This is 3 cups of cooked chicken that we have chopped up fine. And I have 1/2 cup of water and a package of taco seasoning. And then I don't know if you're familiar with this or not. This is called salsa verde. And I got a lesson in what verde means. It means green. So this is a green salsa. I learned that from Laurie, who just came back from Mexico on a missions trip. She's my right hand over here. And so she told me, there's salsa in here, but it's a green salsa. And it's not made with the red tomatoes, of course, but you can get this. Very delicious, a little bit different than the red. And you want this to cook for 6 or 7 minutes to blend those flavors. And that's what we've been doing here. Now, you take a 9x13, you spray it with a nonstick spray, and then you take this size. These are the fajita size tortilla, flour tortillas, and we're going to layer 3 of them in the bottom. I'm going to do that to cover the bottom well, but we'll try it that way. Overlaps, it overlaps. We'll catch the next layer, it'll be fine. And then I'm just going to pour half of this over top. Turn that around a little bit here. About half. Okay? Just like that. And we're spreading that baby to go anywhere. We're going to spread that over the bottom, like so. You want to be sure that you let that cook for those minutes so that that incorporates the flavors of the taco and also the that taco seasoning into that salsa verde. I think it's fascinating. I never used salsa verde before. That's a new one for me, but I think I'm going to like it because I like the way it smells. I like the way it looks. Very nice. Something that is an alternative to the tomato. Now, we're going to do some more tortillas. We're going to put one here, and one here. Just like that. And let me see, make sure I get my layers right. On this one, we're going to cover this with our warmed, this is refried beans. So, we just warmed them up in the microwave. And we want to put these over the top of this, much as we can. Just make sure that some gets all over what you have there. How are we doing over there?
Pretty good.
You got refried beans too, huh? We're doing the refried bean thing today. Okay, let's just smooth them out, much as you can. Don't worry if it's not perfect. It's okay. Just try to get them covered. There we go. Smoothing them out. Smell is incredible. I like the fact, too, you could do this ahead and you can put it in your fridge and you know what? You could bring it out and bake it off as your friends or family are coming. And it would be nice to be, I like to do stuff, especially with entertaining, to do things ahead of time. So in the last minute, I'm not running around like a chicken with their head off in the kitchen trying to get everything done, and you have people coming to the front door. I don't like that. Okay, so on top of this now, we're going to layer our sour cream. Let me get a little bit of beans out of there. Put that over there. There we go. All right, now, sour cream. This is an 8-ounce container. Doesn't matter if this gets mixed in it because who's going to see it? Nobody. But I like to mix it up. Make sure it's nice and creamy, like that. And we just put that over the top, like that. Easy, easy to do. Could use low fat if you wanted to. Whatever you need to do to fix something so that you can enjoy it. Like if you have a problem with low fat, try those things with that. People say to me, like, my husband has diabetes and I have to really be careful with the sugar. What can I do? Use stevia or some other replacement for the sugar. You know what best to use to accommodate the needs that he has, his special needs. So use those and make it so that he can enjoy it. And I think that's the easiest way. Because really, if we started to show all the different ways of making something, we'd be here all day, and I don't even know all that information. But you who have to deal with it all the time, you know what you can and cannot have. So it just makes it easier, okay? Okay, there's that one. Now, we're going back for some more tortillas. 3 more. Up here, down here, and up here. Wow, very nice, honey. You did a nice job.
Thank you.
Now, what happens to that now?
Well, we'll put this in the oven for about 15 minutes till the cheese melts, and then we're ready.
Is that on broil or is that on like
That's broiled.
Broil. Okay, but you're not going to do that now
That's
because
right.
we'll wait till the end of the program for that. Good. Okay, and I'm just going to. All I'm going to do here is cover that with the remaining chicken mixture. Bet you thought I forgot about this chicken over here, huh? Didn't forget about it. It's just a different layer. And then I'm going to cover it with cheese. And this is going to bake in the oven for about 25, 30 minutes till it's nice and hot and bubbly. And this is going to be a good casserole, great casserole, in fact. I know that you're going to enjoy making this for your family. So while we do this, we add our cheese. We're going to pop it in the oven. And we're going to take a break. When we come back, a whole lot more Mexican foods just for you and your family.
Do you love watching At Home with Arlene Williams? Then be sure to check out our new YouTube channel. It's filled with classic episodes from over 20 years of At Home, and more videos are added each day. And don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
Okay, so my chili enchiladas, is that what they are? Enchilada casserole is in the oven baking. Cheese on the top, that cheddar on top is powerful. His dip we're going to put in at the very end because we have to do nachos, like chips to dip that out. That's going to be great. Now you're going to make a Mexican pasta skillet. Which means what?
Which means
everything's
going to go in the pot.
So you have meat?
I already have meat in there, and it's pretty much cooked.
You've been cooking for a few minutes to get that done.
That's right, for about 7 minutes or so.
And if that was really greasy, you'd want to drain the grease off that, but that's nice and lean.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to add to that?
Then I'm going to add mild salsa to it.
Okay.
Tomato sauce, and some taco seasoning.
Okay.
And then
some
water.
Okay.
And I'm going to wait till that boils.
So you're going to stir that around, make it come to a boil.
I'm going to put that in there. That is correct.
Then what?
And then I'm going to put macaroni in there.
Uncooked?
Elbows, uncooked.
Okay, 2
and
cups.
Frozen corn.
Oh.
And we're going to see. I asked Arlene last evening about this. I says, I thought we need just water, you know, but this is a different recipe.
Yeah, because that's got enough moisture in it that it will cook, and then it'll cook up the moisture, and that will flavor the pasta.
That's correct.
Then when we go to serve that, you could serve that right out of the skillet, but then you're going to add some cheese on the top.
That is right.
One thing about Mexican foods or their dishes, there's cheese just about in everything. And of course, if you like cheese, that's great, and if you can't have it or you don't like it, that's another issue. But there is about cheese in about everything. Okay, you get started.
Okay.
And I'm going to make something. If you don't know what kind of a pepper this is called a poblano. Hot. You see, I have gloves on. Absolutely necessary. We don't want any problems with anybody. You think, oh, it won't bother me. People have had to go to the emergency room because they didn't believe that they were as hot as they really are. Any kind, if you're using jalapenos over a period of time, 1 or 2 maybe not, but if you start to cut up a lot of them, you need to do it. It's the inside membrane and the seeds that really pack the punch. So what we did with these, we roasted them over the open flame on the stove. Just turn the flame up, turn it on, and then you lay these, and you just keep turning them because you want to get that outside skin, as it were, off of the pepper. You do that until they're all blistered, and the darker the blister all around, the better it is to get the skin off. Then you immediately take it off of that and put it into a plastic Ziploc bag and zip it tight and let it sit for 5 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, you take the pepper out, run under cold water, and you'll be amazed at how that will pull right off. You see? It comes right off under the water, takes all the skin, it loosens it and takes it away so that you don't have that tough skin when you're eating it. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to cut them, not clear through the top, but from the top to the bottom. And you're going to open them carefully, and with a spoon, you're going to remove as many of the little seeds, because that's where the punch is. You're going to remove as many of them as you possibly can. When you've done that, you want to dry them off because you don't want them to be wet. And like I've already done these, this is mozzarella cheese. I have about 4 slices here, 3 or 4, whichever you have. And all you do is pack this into that poblano. Carefully, you don't want to tear them. but you just pack it in there, top to bottom. The cheese will bend a little bit, get it up in there, and make sure that when you have it in there, you close it to cover them, like that, like I've done with the others here in my baking pan. Now, I'm gonna cover that, just a sprinkle, with some additional mozzarella on the outside, because that's gonna make the outside have some cheese on it too. So it won't all be on the inside, it'll be outside and inside, just like that. If you like hot stuff, your husband likes hot stuff, he's gonna like this. So this goes into, it only bakes, these chilies only bake 15 to 20 minutes, that's all, because we don't put anything on them. We're just baking them through to get them soft. They have to be soft, and of course the cheese is gonna melt. And this is on 350 degrees. That's where we'll go with these. So I know that you're busy there with your macaronis and your corn.
I am.
Paul, could you pop this in the oven when you get done with that? Okay, good. Now, what goes with the poblanos is a wonderful sauce. Simple, simple tomato sauce. And this you make in your food processor. Can't be easier. And it's like an all-purpose sauce that you can use for a lot of different things, not just poblanos. I can take these off now because we don't need them anymore. All right, into my food processor, I'm going to add everything and just let it pulverize. First of all, I have a couple jalapenos. I'm gonna put them to the side until I get my tomatoes in, because the tomatoes are what's really the foundation. I have a couple of cloves of garlic, but I have 2 pounds of plum tomatoes. And we're just gonna drop those in like that. Okay? So they're in. We're gonna pulse these around. I'm gonna add a couple of jalapenos. I've got my garlic and a little bit of salt going in. And we're gonna do about 1/2 of a large onion. So we cut that in some chunks so it wouldn't be too hard to get in there and spread around. Toss that in. Then we have what they call chicken flavored. These are granules, or like a chicken base, just to add some flavor for that tomato to build on. And we just have a little bit of that. Gonna add that to it. And a little bit, just a little bit of a vegetable oil. That goes in there. All right. So, that's all there is to it. I'm gonna put this on. Hardest part of the recipe is to get, there we go. And then we're going to, well, maybe we are. I think we're supposed to be pulsing, but we're not. Here we go. We got it. And we're just gonna let that go until it's very smooth, like it would be for a sauce. We'll do a little bit more. You don't want it real chunky, but you don't want it super smooth either. Now let's take a little look at it. See what we have. Look at that nice sauce. Ah, and there's a jalapeno in there. There's onion, garlic. Now what we're gonna do with this, we're gonna put this in our saucepan, put it on a low heat, let it cook just maybe 10, 15 minutes until it starts to get a little bit darker in color and a little bit thicker. When you go to serve this, you put some of the sauce on a plate, put a big pepper right in the middle of it, and then put a little bit more cheese on top. That's your poblano. Paul's got his Mexican skillet dinner going. I have this to put on the heat. When we come back, we'll be in the dining room with our Mexican fiesta.
Just go to ctvn.org/athome to get all the recipes from today's show for free. That's right, no subscriptions. They're available online at no cost, and more are being added each day. So join us at ctvn.org/athome to get today's recipes now.
Well, what a wonderful table, huh?
Yep.
Well, you did a good job. You made some good stuff here. Let's take, we're doing Mexican, just in case you weren't here for the whole program. Down there, that's our enchilada, chicken enchilada casserole. That thing is awesome. The smell in here is incredible. That's gonna be a delicious, delicious meal right there. And then we did your Mexican skillet dinner. And that looks great. That's got corn in it. That's got the elbow macaronis, the meat, the cheese. That was easy to do. You can do that in like a half hour from when you get home from work. I'm serious. And that's one that everybody's going to like. Next to it, that's chili dip, the taco chili dip, and that's cheese on top that is just melted down. We've also put some nice little bowls of taco chips, because that's what you want to dig in there, tortilla chips, nacho chips. And then these are the peppers that I told you about. Now, the way you want to serve that, this is our tomato sauce. And what you do with that is spoon that on your plate. If you like it thicker, let it cook longer, but you want to spoon that on the plate. And then you serve it by taking one of these nice big stuffed poblanos that has all that wonderful cheese. Let's take a look inside. Melted cheese. Well, we hope you've enjoyed our Mexican program. Be sure to join us the next time, because it just wouldn't be the same without you. Thanks, Paul, for your help today.
They're quite welcome.
Bye-bye.
Food provided by Jordan Banana Company, wholesalers of fresh fruit and vegetables in Dravosburg, Pennsylvania.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.